when that happens, it's complex trauma, and you start to reject your own intuition and your own gifts.
Hi there, Soulful Mama. Welcome to the Soul Care Mom podcast. I'm Catherine Wilde of soulcaremom.com. I'm a mom of 3 amazing kids, a soul care mom coach, and a yoga and meditation teacher. I've helped hundreds of women, and I'm here to help you feel calm and find your unshakable confidence as a mom. If you're ready to stop living in survival mode and you're ready to drop the mom guilt and overwhelm, this podcast is for you. Think of this as a lunch date with a girlfriend. Grab a cup of tea and get cozy. It's time to get honest and vulnerable and shift the traditional mindset around motherhood. Be sure to subscribe to be the first to know when new episodes are released. Get ready to grow and feel empowered as a mom. I'm here for you, Mama. Let's get started. Are you going through a life-changing transition and need some support? In this episode of the Soul Care Mom podcast, I chat with Steph Palermo, an intuitive soul guide, international motivational speaker, and author, about how to navigate divorce as a mom and how to find your own happiness after divorce. Don't miss her empowering story and helpful tools. It will leave you feeling inspired no matter which big life transition you are moving through right now. Hi, Steph. How are you?
I'm great, Catherine. Thanks for having me.
I'm so happy you're here, and I'm excited to hear everything that you have to share. You have been on this really amazing journey of finding your own happiness after divorce, and I'd love to hear a bit about your journey and how you came to help women to navigate this big transition and discover happiness.
So the first thing is I tip my hat to all moms. I am the mom of 4 adult sons, and they are fabulous. They're wonderful. 2 are married, and the other 2 one's almost finished with college. He's taking a little bit of the long road, and one is finishing his freshman year. So I've been through it all, sex, drugs, and rock and roll with my boys. And so I understand well motherhood and the feelings that go along with it, sometimes inadequacy, feeling like you're not doing the right job, not doing a good job, you're not doing the right thing, or maybe some newfangled something comes up, and whatever it is, I get it because I lived it. But my journey began far before my marriage. I was born with a rare disorder, Poland syndrome, and I was also born into a very passionate, emotional, oftentimes volatile and violent Sicilian family. Not all Sicilians are like that, but that's just what I grew up with. And I had to deal with feeling safe in my home and outside of my home because I was faced with being left out, humiliated, laughed at, rejected, all of that outside of the home. Inside the home was more like 2 parents, young parents who were not trained well. And there was a lot of that. So going forward, when you have this already, on top of it, I have all these spiritual intuitive gifts that just by the experiences that I had and could not share in the home, it was as if whatever was going on with me didn't matter. Not that they meant it that way, my parents, but when that happens, it's complex trauma, and you start to reject your own intuition and your own gifts. Hence, it's time, you're trying to date, and I never felt worthy. And so when I met my now ex, I was 19 years old, and I just grasped on for dear life because I was going to get married and have my family and just like a good Sicilian ought to, and not worry about a career or any, because I'm 56. And so I raised my kids. I stayed home with my kids, and I mean, I had a lot of them. So, and so the choices that I made were, I look at it and I go, well, you know what? The truth is, it's really not his fault. He is what he is, but I came into that marriage broken. I came into that marriage not able to defend myself, stand up for myself. And he just perpetuated my dysfunction, trying, always wanting to, nobody makes us feel anything. So really, I was a victim of that, of my own brokenness, and and he did this as well. He treated me like I was I was a dependent. I owed him for staying home with my kids. And in turn, my children treated me like I was their sibling, and there was no respect for my authority. And it isn't until recently that the relationships with my children have changed. Fast forward, and I was just a mess, and I just said, I can't do this anymore. And I got divorced. And my kids even said, Dad's nice to everybody except you. Mm-hmm. And, I think that he had a very poor example of how to treat the mom in the house, the other head of the household. And so I went through my divorce, and I decided that this is what I was going to do. I was going to create a business that helped others by using my spiritual gifts as well as my experiences.
What a beautiful way to help others navigate what can feel so overwhelming and so scary. Thank you, first of all, for sharing your journey so authentically.
When I was going through my divorce, everybody kept saying to me, well, we got to worry about the kids. We got to worry about the kids. Nobody said what's best for you, because the truth is I was never going to let my kids, I was going to let them suffer the least that they could. And I was very aware of their needs. However, I was traumatized through it all. I had one cousin say to me, you do what you got to do. I'll back you. Divorce is a death. If you have a willing partner who's willing to go through the work it takes to remedy what's broken, to fix it, to repair the broken hearts, I say do it if you have that wherewithal. I don't think anybody should accept any abuse, mistreatment, or a loveless marriage, or a sexless marriage. I don't think anybody should endure that. But if there's somebody that's willing, if you're both willing to do the work, I recommend it. It's devastating. Divorce is a death, and it's devastating. Several years after my divorce, it was Easter morning, and my kids had gotten up, the two kids that were living with me, because the older kids weren't. They got all dressed up. Their dad was picking them up for mass and brunch, and then they were all coming back to my house later for dinner. I cried my eyes out. It was because they were doing separate events. And so I'm not a divorce advocate. I'm a self-care advocate, whatever that means for you.
I love that so much. Yeah. And, divorce, like you were saying, you go into marriage, you don't you don't assume that you're going to not stay married, right? It's not usually a planned event. We don't think like, oh, this is just going to last for a certain number of years. And then it'll be over. But so our world can get really shaken up when this big transition happens. So can you share some strategies or tips to help women cope with the emotions that come up around divorce?
Yeah. So while you're going through the divorce, if you can get a coach, get a divorce coach, get somebody because they're going to be cheaper than venting to your lawyer. Your lawyer is going to be $500 or more an hour. A divorce coach might be $100 or $200 an hour. Get a coach. Get somebody who you can rely on that is not connected to the divorce. Because, even your friends, your family, everybody gets hit with the fallout they're in the line of fire. Everybody suffers in a divorce, from grandma to the cousins to the friends. I mean, it hits everywhere. So find somebody who's neutral, who could help you navigate the emotions. And if also a divorce financial analyst, somebody who can help with the finances and helping you understand how to split the assets once you're divorced. You need a good set of friends who understand. So post-divorce, you want a good support network, people who understand, people who will support you, people who will be a shoulder to cry on, or will have some good advice, sometimes snap you out of it. You definitely want good friends. You also want to hire somebody like me to help you through your transitions, because this transition, a lot of women, and I was one of them, and it's funny because my marriage had been over for many, many years by the time I got divorced. My lawyer even said to me, she goes, you know what? Most people aren't ready to date. She goes, you're so ready. And because I was like done. I was like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm like, I'm done with this guy. Ciao, ciao. But that didn't mean I didn't have stuff to work through. You don't want to get into another relationship until you feel happy to be alone and excited to be alone. You're not ready to be with somebody else. I wasn't ready. I really wasn't ready until I actually went to Sicily, which is why I bring people to Sicily on retreat, and recognized that it's the community that feeds you. It's being part of a supportive community will help fill your cup. And once you get to that space, inviting somebody into your life will overflow the cup, but your cup is full on its own.
Do you feel overwhelmed and anxious? Do you wish you could stop losing your temper with your kids and just have more fun as a mom? Do you crave finding more time to do the things you love without feeling guilty? I get it, Mama. I've been there. That's why I created the Vibrant Mom Life membership. Imagine what life would look like if you could finally get out of survival mode, consistently find time for yourself, and be the calm, present mom you've always wanted to be. This membership will help you step out of anxiety and overwhelm and help you find time for yourself without the guilt. Inside Vibrant Mom Life, you'll find monthly themes that will help you shift your mindset, get out of survival mode, and find time for the things you love, all while being the mom you want to be. Plus, you'll find guided meditations and yoga practices that will help you effortlessly infuse your days with self-care. And I know that some days are harder than others, so you'll even find a library of short and sweet guided affirmations so you can simply press play and reconnect with your inner calm in just minutes. Join Vibrant Mom Life today by going to soulcaremom.com/membership so you can stop running on empty and truly enjoy mom life. I can't wait to welcome you inside, Mama.
Engaging in extreme self-care. We're so fragile. When we engage in extreme self-care, what does that mean? What is extreme self-care? It's not merely an hour workout or getting your hair and nails done. It's engaging in activities that fill your soul. It's saying no to those events, experiences, thoughts in your head, and people in your life that don't support you or that drain you. It's, sometimes saying, no, I'm sorry, I can't go to that. I'm going to, I can't be there. I can't make it. And you maybe do something else because it's better for you. And people will get ruffled by that. You want to surround yourself with good, solid people who support you, people who are living their best life, who are aligned and are purpose-driven, or at least working towards it, because they're the only ones that are going to have space. They're going to have that capacity to be your cheerleader. Yeah. Extreme self-care is establishing boundaries and respecting those boundaries. It's being mindful of how your body feels when you're confronted with certain situations. Know because the body doesn't lie. Is your stomach turning? The hair standing on end? Are you, is your throat dry? Are you shaking? Are you tired, like drained? Do you have to go to sleep? What is your body telling you? And then start asking the questions. Why is this happening? That's mindfulness. And really understanding getting to know yourself. What do I really love? Sometimes we're in a marriage and we're somebody's wife, we're somebody's mother.
Yeah, thank you for sharing all that. I love that you mentioned having somebody help you to navigate the finances as well. Like that's really important for so many of us are, stay-at-home moms or maybe not the main breadwinner. And then I love that you said that even though you were ready to date, there was still inner work to do. Like when you're happy being just you by yourself and rediscovering who you are, what lights you up, setting those boundaries, then you're able to go into a relationship and be the best person for each of you.
When you engage in extreme self-care, you teach people how to treat you because you're treating yourself better. You're recognizing your worth, and so other people will know your worth.
That was really beautifully said. Yeah.
Yes. And what will happen is at the better you treat yourself, the better quality of people that you will attract into your life, because like attracts like. If you want to stay down there with those low frequency vibrational emotions, that's what you're going to attract, more of the same. So you want to elevate joy, peace, contentment, laughter.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
Then you'll attract kindness, generosity, gratefulness. Engaging in all of those emotions and feelings are going to reap benefits in more ways than one.
Yes. Oh, so true. Yes, I love the idea of extreme self-care, and thank you for sharing what you meant by that. So powerful. And you had mentioned, people were concerned about your kids and more than, they were with your well-being and what this meant for you. But when you do have kids and you're going through divorce, guilt can come up, as a mom, and you feel like you're doing what you need to do, but you also feel like you're disrupting their lives. How do you navigate the mom guilt and, find best support your kids in this transition?
Guilt has its place. Mm-hmm. It really does. but appropriate guilt, like when you steal something or you mean to hurt somebody, it has its place. Other than that, it is a low frequency vibrational emotion. And when you're doing the next right thing every step of the way for yourself, and it's really the right thing deep down in your soul, you can't go wrong. You want to be able to put your head down every night knowing you did the next right thing. And when you do, even if it causes others angst or anger, frustration, they don't like it, even with the kids, because for me, my kids were used to me being 24/7 available. Now I had to have a job. There's growing pains. So you have to be able to understand that, remember when the kids are when they're babies, little babies, you would never make them sit in a wet diaper or a dirty diaper. You change the diaper. But how many times I was changing a diaper and my legs were crossed because I had to use the restroom. Mm-hmm. And I'm shaking like a leaf because I was putting them first instead of putting the little baby down on the floor or in the playpen, using the restroom and then taking care of the baby, because for 2 minutes they're fine in that diaper. I'm talking about the same thing. It's not a bad, it's that self-care is not selfish. Absolutely. So, that guilt, yeah, we have guilt that we're getting divorced. But in the end, when you are making decisions based upon your real wellness and health, mentally, physically, physically, spiritually, financially, all of this, you're making these decisions for your well-being, it's going to benefit the children in the long run. You think about the example of a loveless marriage. Now your kids are going, that's what they're going to see. This is what marriage looks like to them. So you can be guilty all you want, but when you think about it, don't you want your kids to have a healthy understanding of what a loving, respectful marriage looks like? You don't have to talk to them and belittle their dad. You can just be the best that you can be and say, this is not a good example of marriage. It's just not a good example of marriage. It doesn't mean that daddy's is a bad person. It just means that this marriage, it was not a good example.
Yeah, that's such a good point too. Sometimes people stay together because they are worried about what it will mean for the children. And then you're right, like that isn't when we, our kids, we hope that they listen to what we say, but really they're watching what we do. So, and that's what's going into, their perspective of how things should be and look, and their patterns that they create and play out in their lives. Before we wrap up, I'd like to ask a quick favor. This is an independent podcast. It's produced, recorded, and marketed by me, so I would love your help. Please share this podcast with your friends. Post about it on social media. Tell your girlfriends over lunch. Share about it with the moms at the park or at your next PTA meeting or homeschool co-op meetup. And please take a moment to subscribe and to leave a 5-star review wherever you're listening. It will help more moms find and benefit from this work, and it will make my heart so happy. I so appreciate you for sharing your journey so authentically, for sharing these beautiful ways that women can empower themselves and navigate this transition. And you have been on this journey, you were talking about since, you were a child. If you could go
Yes.
back in time and share something with your younger self, what would you tell her?
You're beautiful and you have a purpose. Don't stray from the purpose.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Yeah, if we could just all hear that like 100 times a day, right? Yeah, that's so
Right.
beautiful. Thank you so much. Can you share with us where we can find you? How can we connect with you
Oh
online?
my gosh, yes. So I am everywhere. So I'm like, I'm everywhere. So I'm on Facebook. I have my radio show. I'm on the radio Monday nights, and I have the Just Steph show fan page. I have a free Facebook community called Get Real with Just Steph. I'm on Twitter, Real Just Steph. I'm on Instagram and LinkedIn as no Instagram and TikTok as the Real Just Steph, and LinkedIn is I think it's Just Steph. And and so I'm all over YouTube. I'm on iTunes, the Just Steph Show. So I'm everywhere. But my website is juststeph.com, and it has my story. It's really fun. I have my bucket list, my wish list, and those things I can't live without. So I love that. And I offer one-on-one soul guidance. I have a program called the Divine Line, and it's a 6-month program working with me. And I spend a lot of time with my clients. People, great things happen for those who work with me, and healing happens, and joy and laughter. So I help people to feel okay with themselves and to recognize their own beauty and amazingness and their purpose, and get them on their soul's proper path. I also offer retreats in Sicily.
Oh, that's awesome. And that really sounds fun. The retreat. And yeah, so thank you for sharing all of that. I will add that into the show notes so people can find you. But I can feel your joy for what you do. And this has been such a fun conversation. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Catherine. It's been a pleasure.
Hi, love. This is just a reminder that Soul Care Mom offers information that's shared with love and intended for educational and inspirational purposes only. You should not rely on this information as a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you have any concerns or questions about your health, you should always consult with a trusted healthcare provider. Thank you for being here, and know that I am sending you so much love. Thanks for joining me, Mama. I'm over here smiling from ear to ear and giving you a big virtual hug. I love spending this time with you. You are amazing for showing up and carving out this space to nourish your soul. If you are loving the Soul Care Mom podcast, be sure to subscribe and leave a review. And if you are ready to start your mornings feeling calm and energized, get the Kickstart Your Calm Morning Guide, a self-care morning ritual for moms, as a free gift when you join the Soul Care Mom community. Head over to soulcaremom.com/kickstart and enter your email address to get your free gift and start feeling like a calm mom today. Sending you so much love, Mama.